Well, hello! Today we are going to be talking about how to use the random function in P5. Basically, all it does is picks a random number in a given range that you want it to, but it really is great for making some interesting looking sketches. Just so you know, when you watch a Pixar movie and you see stars in the sky, there wasn't an animator who put each star one by one there. They probably just ran a function that put a random star all over the place and gave it a random size, maybe a random brightness, and just scattered them throughout. So random lets us kind of create these realistic looking images or these crazy looking images without running too much code. It'll save us some time. So take a look. This is how you use it. So for I equals 0, I'm going to start with a nested for loop today. I is less than 600. I gotta starting these off at 600. Come on, seeds. Then we're going to do I plus equals, let's do 30 today. All right. Now let's make a nested for loop. So I'm going to do for j equals 0. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm doing nested for loops, you arrived at this video randomly, just so you know this is in a unit about loops. So that's why we're doing that. Plus equals 30. Okay. And so now check this out. What we're going to say is this. I'm going to start with a really boring picture here. So I'm going to do an ellipse. I'm going to do this at I, j, and then 20. So this is our starting thing. And what you get is just a bunch of circles, right? Super, whatever. That's how it goes. And then I could do this. Let's make it blue. So it's 0, 0, 255. So here's a bunch of blue circles. All right, that's a sketch. It's kind of cool that we got that many circles. But what if I wanted to start making this a little bit more dynamic? I wanted to start having random widths, having different sizes and all that. What we could do is just do this. Instead of putting 20 there, we could say this, random, which is a function in P5 that selects a random number. And what I'm going to do is just put the number 20 here. And so what it's going to do is pick a number between 0 and 20. So the argument that you put into it is the maximum amount that you want to pick from. So it can pick anywhere from 0. It assumes 0 if you put one number in, and the maximum number is 20. So if I press 20 now, you get this kind of cool effect, right? So it's boop, 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 boop. And that's because each circle is being chosen between a width of 0, which is where you get really small ones, and 20, which is the biggest one. Now, if we want to make these circles bigger, we could do this. Now we get a bigger choice. Kind of looks like bubbling water. You do 100. Get this crazy looking thing. And let's bring it back down to 20. I kind of like the way that looks. So that's nice, right? So we get that. Now, this is a little bit fast. This might be giving some of our younger viewers a seizure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something where you can decrease how fast your loop runs. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but the draw function runs 60 times per second. So that's why this is changing so quickly, because it's picking a whole new width 60 times per second. So it's getting this really crazy flash. But we can reduce this down to let's say 10 per second. You can see it's a little bit more reasonable. We can even reduce it down to 5. And now, that looks a little bit nicer. Now they're all blue, which is okay, but what if we just did this? Let's actually put a random color in there. So I'm going to pick 255. If you're wondering why I'm putting 255 there, it's because the maximum number you can pick from RGB colors is 255, right? So it's going to pick a number between 0 and 255. And so what we're going to get is some random colors now, because it's going to pick a random R, a random G, and a random B. So check it out when I press play. Well, that looks much better. It looks like Skittles. Look at that. Look at that little Skittle over there. How wonderful, right? And that's pretty much how random works, right? So you can get these really nice effects. And just so you know, you don't have to just pick one number for random. You can pick two numbers. So you can actually define the range. So once you're oh, some of these circles are too small. I want the smallest circle to be 20. What you could do is give random two numbers. All right, and the two numbers are going to be the smallest number and the biggest number. So now the smallest number random will pick from is 20, and the biggest number is 50. So remember, if you just put one number, it assumes 0 to the number that you put in. If you put two numbers, then you can define the range of random numbers picked from, so 20 to 50. So check this out. So you see how you don't really get super small circles now because we've defined the smallest circle as 20. So the smallest one you can see here is 20, and the biggest one is 50. All right, so that's it. My challenge to you is start using random with other shapes, like ones if you do a rectangle, ones if you do a line, ones if you do a triangle, ones if you do begin shape, end shape. There's so many random, random ways you can use random to get some great sketches. All right, that's it, and peace.